to see what this government under Obama is doing to the middle class. You talk about painting a target. Obama painted a target on the middle class. How's that? Is that indictable? Should I be investigated by the Department of Homeland Security for saying that? What can't I say now? If I say that Obama has painted a target on the middle class, is there something inherently violent in what I just said? No. Because it's true. Obama has painted a target on the middle class. Why do I say that? Case in point. Exempted from tax hikes in Obamacare include undocumented immigrants, meaning illegal aliens who broke into the nation, members of Indian tribes, religious objectors, I don't know what that means, I guess the Amish won't be paying, etc. So there are so many other aspects of this that you have to see, and many of you don't understand you're going to be killed by this. Again, I guess that word's a loaded word, and I can't say that. I have to even watch when I say target, kill. There's certain words you can't say now. Let's see, target I can't use. Killed by this as a political phrase. This is aimed at you. I can't say that. Let's go through the words I should no longer use for fear that Lincoln Chafee of Rhode Island may ban me from talk radio because he's such a superb liberal. Let's say targeting us. Can't use that. Aiming at the middle class. Can't use that. I'll put an X through that. What else? Bullseye on the middle class, right? That wouldn't be any good. So targeting, aiming, bullseye. What else can't we use in talk radio anymore? We can't get angry because anger unto itself is considered a crime now under Janet Napolitano. So anger is not allowed. Anger can be suspect unto itself. Anyone angry could possibly go into a photo machine in a G-string with a Glock and take a picture of himself or herself, assuming that it's not gender-driven. Did you hear about that? That just came out that the lunatic in Tucson, the maniac, shooter, murderer, homicidal maniac, alleged, the night before the alleged shootings, went into a photo machine and took a picture of himself with a G-string with a Glock automatic. Now, I don't know whether we should ban photo machines, G-strings, or Glocks, but I'm sure that Obama's minions are looking into it. They're already blaming Walmart for the ammunition. But you could say that they should ban photo machines when you think about it. Doug, I mean, I really think that they should ban photo machines because if you think about it, if the Tucson shooter did not have access to a photo machine in Walgreens the night before the shooting, let's say photo machines had been banned because the government didn't control the photo machine, and God knows an individual might use it as part of a homicidal plot, perhaps it would have broken the cycle that his mind had fallen into because he fell through the cracks of medical care because it's such a bad system, because Obamacare wasn't there. And soon you'll hear that if we only had Obamacare, this poor individual who killed these people in Arizona wouldn't have, quote, fallen through the cracks of society. He would have gotten the care he needed. But to get back to my main point, I think that there's an argument that can be made by Lincoln Chafee to ban photo machines because, as I say, that can be part of the cycle of homicide in the minds of a madman, as well as G-strings now. I think Janet Napolitano ought to raid any store that sells G-strings in America because we now see that they're intimately related to homicidal urges in some individuals, or at least one individual. But there's no reason you can't generalize from that one individual. And you can now generalize that G-strings are dangerous and part of a homicidal cycle. And I'm sure that if you could have broken that cycle, if this lunatic in Tucson had not had access to a G-string and to a photo machine, it might have broken the cycle of homicidal mania in him, and perhaps he would have gone home and just laid down and cried mommy. You never know, right? So as I say, there's a lot of things that need to be legislated by Lincoln Chafee and Janet Napolitano. The least that they have to worry about, though, is Islamophobia. Because radical Islam is not really a threat in this country. The only thing that they have to worry about are photo machines and G-strings. And I believe that there should be a full and thorough FBI investigation of photo machine suppliers, because there's obviously a linkage now between the Tucson shooter and the photo machine. And I believe that a full and thorough congressional hearing on G-strings and photo machines is long overdue. I think that the perfect man to head this Senate committee, the G-string investigation committee, would be Chuck Schumer. If governors want to get involved, Lincoln Chafee could handle the photo machine investigation and perhaps ban them across state lines. I mean, I really think that they ought to ban the shipment of photo machines across state lines, Babel, now that I think about it. Because, look, if that photo machine had not been shipped to Arizona and it had been kept, in the manufacturing plant, I'm not kidding you. I mean, you could argue that the lunatic who went there the night before with the G-string on and the Glock in the photo machine might have, somehow he could have been, deterred. What if he had not found the G-string? I think we should put the G-men on the G-strings. That's what I'm saying. We should sick the G-men on the G-strings. This is a real scandal right now, and I frankly think that it's long overdue that we have a full and thorough congressional investigation of G-string manufacturers, because I think that there's some kind of plot between G-string manufacturers and photo machine manufacturers, and frankly, I think that they should all be sued for the massacre because they were somehow implicated along with the ammunition that was sold in Walmart. So there it is. That's breaking new ground on the Savage Nation, unlike breaking wind on MSNBC. Keith, Chicago, welcome to the Savage Nation.
Hi, Dr. Savage. Maybe we should look into suing China for inventing gunpowder that then consistently...
Well, actually, you raise a good point. I think that every male of Chinese descent, whether they're domestic or foreign, should pay a certain percentage towards a reparations fund for all the people injured by gunpowder over the millennia.
That might help us get out of our debt crisis.
No, that's very interesting. What if every male of Chinese descent over the age of 21 had to pay a reparation for their ancestors' invention of gunpowder? I think that would help balance the budget, wouldn't it?
It just goes right past Walmart. Bigger pockets.
Well, what do you think about banning photo machines and G-strings?
Oh, absolutely. And, well, you have to make sure that the clip is not high capacity either. We need to ban
what do you mean? The hair clip that he put on his head? Oh, you mean the bullet clip? What if he put on a hair clip that was high capacity that could hold a lot of hair? No, I mean, you think about it. This is definitely worthy of an investigation by the government. Hair clips can be dangerous. They can become assault hair clips.
Eric Holder is probably just drooling right now.
I really think that this is now considered. I mean, this could be considered a conspiracy amongst photo machine manufacturers. It's an assault photo machine and an assault G-string. It's all part and parcel of the complex, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, you see, you got to fight insanity with bigger absurdity. That's all I can say. You got to mock government when it's so out of control.
I really enjoy your show. It's just the best entertainment.
But listen, certain words I can never use again: targeting, aiming, bullseye, and anger. I can't use.
Absolutely.
But I can I ridicule? Can I use sarcasm? Am I allowed to use sarcasm on my radio show anymore?
Well, then you're out of business.
I really think that they should investigate sarcasm and satire and consider banning it because it's offensive to some. Keith. And you realize how hurtful sarcasm has been over the centuries and satire?
That young man...
I actually think that all satirical novels should be burned by the Department of Homeland Security. I think going back to the first satirical novel, wherever it was written or writing, I think there should be a huge national bonfire, and all good liberals should bring in copies of Animal Farm, Brave New World. Any satire or sarcastic commentary should be thrown into the pyre, in order to make certain that individuals who are sensitive are not grieving.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something. They could ban me from saying targeting, aiming, bullseye. But let me tell you something. One thing they can't ban is sarcasm and satire. And at the end of the day, if that's all I have left, let me tell you something. I'll still tell you what's going on. Okay? The phone number you know already. The website you know already. You know it's the Savage Nation already. Don't go to break, Phil. Because I think that I need a breather. So let me think about some rock and roll I want, Phil. No, stop. That's dirty. I don't like that song. That could be connoted as some kind of X-rated song in the eyes of the new administration. Hanani Ding Dong, I'm sorry, crosses the line, Phil. We have to go to something. How about In the Still of the Night? I think that might still be legal to play in the United States of America on talk radio. Although there could be a subliminal message in this song. Let's listen. Let's listen, because there could be a message in this song. All right, stop it. You can't play this song anymore on the Savage Nation, Phil, and I'll tell you why. This could be construed by a mentally unstable person who's wearing a G-string and has a Glock and goes in a photo machine as a message to his subconscious to conduct some kind of criminal homicidal act in the still of the night. So break that record. We're going to have to go through our entire library of rock and roll from the 50s and make certain that we sanitize these songs for the new America under Janet Napolitano. I'll be right back.
Savage.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. Put your glad rags on.
All right, stop, Phil. Still, you can't play that song in this show ever again on the Savage Nation. In compliance with the new governmental request, which is now voluntary, not mandatory, we on the Savage Nation are reviewing all of our archival music, 50s rock and roll and such, for any potential either subliminal message that may be in the song or concepts that could trigger unstable individuals into some homicidal act. And so we can no longer play Rock Around the Clock because if an individual's in a photo booth busy with his G-string, he might think he's hearing Glock around the clock. And it could set him off on a rampage, right? So that's it. That's over with. Okay, let's try the next one, Phil. Let's see if the next one. Oh, no, stop. Shaboom, no good. For obvious reasons, an unstable individual could be triggered with the word shaboom, just the word shaboom. You know, now that I'm looking around my studio, I realize there are many things that the FBI or Homeland Security should be looking into. I have a can of Planters peanuts in my hand. And there's the friendly little guy with the monocle and the top hat, but look what it says. Nutrition, as a takeoff on nutrition. It says nutrition. Now, if you were a person who just smoked salvia, you could think the world is mocking you and calling you a nut and telling you look like a kind of grotesque peanut. And then you could be triggered into some kind of homicidal act. So I think that Planters nutrition boxes should be banned by the FBI because it could trigger an aging sea lion who has lost his tusks into some kind of unstable activity. Do we have another song that we can try on the Savage Nation? Let me see. No, stop right there. Heartache. No, because a nut who lost a girlfriend who never had one, a sexually frustrated, testosterone-ridden male who is, let's say, dying for a woman. If he listened to this song Heartache, God only knows what it might do to him. He might go out on a rampage. So I think that song should be banned from the airwaves as well. If any of you are listening to the Savage Nation and can think of some other rock and roll songs I have played over the years on the show that are now in the light of the new America, the kinder America, the more gentle America, the Lincoln Chafee America, the America that we all want to live in, where certain songs are no longer permitted, talk radio is not permitted, please call us with your requests, and we'll be glad to play and break that record. Pittsburgh, Andrew, you're on the Savage Nation. Go ahead, please.
Hello, yes. I have an idea for what you can do about the photo booths. You can hire the TSA or some other kind of federal agency to man all of the photo booths, and then they have to interrogate them.
Wait a minute. You have a good idea that we could create an entire corps of photo booth soldiers. That would fit in with Obama's private army that he promised during the election to his left-wing constituents. He did want to create a private army. He could hire the Black Panthers to make sure that photo booths are not frequented by people in G-strings.
Exactly. And you could also reduce unemployment that way.
That's right. It's not a bad job. I mean, we do need to create a whole new division of the U.S. government, a photo booth watching cabinet. I think this should be a cabinet-level appointment, don't you, Andrew?
I think that would work well.
I believe this is as important as the Department of Defense would be watching photo booths. And I think maybe on the side they could go down the aisles and look for any planter, anything that says nut in it, like Planters Nutrition stands out. But anything else that has the word nut in it could trigger an unstable individual, couldn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I want everyone listening to Savage Nation, please be on the lookout over the weekend for any food stuff that has the word nut in it. even if it's small letters, because, you know, unstable people see things differently than you do. So let's say you're reading a package, and in the little small print it says, may contain nuts. I think any food label that says even may contain nuts should be banned from America. Because what if an unstable man in a G-string who just came out of a photo booth looks at that small print and says may contain nuts? He could take that personally and go off.